revolutionizing one-on-one tackling to give players ultimate control on the field. Physics-based gameplay in Madden 25 delivers an all-new tackling system, improved ball carrier balance logic, and a reloaded timing-based hit stick, delivering increased gameplay variety and authentic physical outcomes. A physics-driven tackle in Madden 25 consists of 3 unique stages: pre-impact, impact, and post-impact. As a result of the physics behind each one-on-one tackle, the same tackle start animation can produce countless results based on the factors like the combined momentum of the players, the angle of impact, weight, speed, strength, and player ratings. As the defender initiates a hit, you'll see the ball carrier anticipate the incoming defender and brace for contact. Here, the player still has complete control to change direction or perform a skill move like a juke, truck, or stiff arm, which affects the point of impact and resulting action. Upon impact, the system considers various factors like timing, momentum, weight, speed, strength, and player ratings to determine the power and direction of the tackle. A smaller defender, like a DB in the secondary or a player with less momentum, may struggle to stop a strong runner who can deflect contact and gain extra yards. On the other hand, a bigger defender will stop a smaller ball carrier in their tracks, with little to no forward momentum after the point of impact. Physics in Madden 25 informs one-on-one tackling for more variety, dynamism, and control, giving players the outcome they expect on every play. To celebrate its 20th anniversary, we've reloaded the hit stick with a new skill-based mechanic where a player's timing and angle of approach matter. If a tackle is timed too early or too late, its power will be reduced or less effective. But when a hit stick is timed perfectly, plays can be stopped just as fast as they started. New on-screen feedback provides info on hit timing, while UI and sound effects make a perfect hit stick feel that much more satisfying. There's more to physics-based gameplay than just tackling. With the new ball carrier balance system, players will feel physics-driven broken tackles, stumbles, and balance recovery reactions that are also determined by momentum and impact direction. Hit quality, ratings, and the abilities of the players involved, as well as the ball carrier's body position, will result in more variation and realism in the run game. All ball carrier and tackling abilities have been modified to work together with the new physics system, and in some cases, new abilities have been created. For more on abilities, check out the Gridiron Notes blog. In the NFL, blocking at the line is a strategic chess match, and updates to pass blocking provide more control to adjust schemes. In Madden 25, players can choose between 8 pass blocking adjustments before the snap. For the first time ever, visual cues will highlight each offensive lineman's specific target play art, as well as how this will change based on the blocking scheme. Defenders not accounted for will be marked with the Hot Defender icon, so players can decide who to block and who to strategically throw hot off of. New pocket building logic, along with hundreds of new blocking animations, naturally boosts engaged pressure to form the pocket more authentically, so quarterbacks can step up to make clutch throws when the protection is right. Madden 25 introduces brand new catching mechanics and animations that deliver more control at the catch point, more catching variety, and the ability to combine catch types together. Pull off amazing one-hand grabs with the all-new Spectacular Catch button, which provides a larger catch radius, but also increases the chance of a drop or pass breakup. With this mechanic, players can now modify aggressive, run-after-catch, and secure catch inputs, providing the ability to change the catch type mid-animation, which wasn't possible before. These catching improvements give players the ability to pull off highlight-worthy grabs with more control on every button press. To give players more tools as a ball carrier, we've revamped the right stick to further enhance skill move control. A new hezi step combined with the new fake-out logic gives players the ability to trigger CPU defender breakdown, feel more dynamic and alive, while intelligent adjustments and hand signals change based on the types of plays being called. For increased play calling depth, some of the most exciting new plays from the league have been added to each of the 32 teams' playbooks. A few highlights from last season in Madden 25 include Miami's cheat motion and Kansas City's Super Bowl winning corn dog. In addition to unique plays like these, more route concepts and custom route stems change the length of the initial route for complete hot route control. With the addition of the defensive switch stick, we've introduced a new defensive meta where players can quickly switch their user coverage with a flick of the right stick, adding control while lurking in the secondary on passing plays. And Madden 25 will, of course, include the new NFL hybrid kickoff rules, where players can experiment with the new rules and strategies before we see it in the regular season.
Love and light, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another football deep dive. This time, it is not going to be a college version. This time, it is going to be the professional ranks. I told you guys pre-hurricane, before a little bit of our motion got stopped, that there was going to be a video dropping every day, possibly until the end of the year. I think we're finally recovered. I think we finally have made it back to business as usual, putting things together post-hurricane. If you guys didn't know, I live down in the Houston area. So without further ado, we are going to break down this Madden deep dive. Also, I'm going to give my college football 25 analysis and full recap into 3 parts because this game has so much content and I am having and enjoying playing every game and losing a lot of games, but there's so much content. I think we need to break this down into 3 different parts. So stay tuned for that. And if you listen up into this part, make sure you guys know we are grinding to 1,000 subscribers and we cannot do it without you guys. So make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell so you can stay tapped into everything in Post Nation. So let's get started. So my personal takeaway from Madden this year is they're trying to do a little bit more balancing for the defensive side of the ball. They're trying to make tackling as realistic as possible. They're trying to give us every type of physical and digital animation that they can realistically give us that is close to what we see in real life on NFL Sundays. So physics-based tackles are going to be broken down into 3 different components: pre-impact, moment of impact, and tackle resolution. The system is not organic to physics or ragdolls, rather than dynamic animation selected and formed by real-world physics. While not every tackle in-game is driven by fluid physics, Boom Tech will make hit sticks, cut sticks, and drive tackles to more authentic and more unpredictable. So let's check out how this works out. They've got a lot of notes on this. I think Madden 24, for the first time, and a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, was tearing towards the right direction in a lot of different features. Prior to impact, ball carriers will now anticipate and brace for impact from an oncoming tackler, making them look more intelligent and aware, while also giving players the control to change directions and perform a special move or stay on locomotion all the way up until contact is made without feeling any sort of suction or pre-animation alignment. Contrary, on the defender side, the approach of the system is constantly reevaluating potential tackles on every frame until collision based on how players have deviated and possessed moves, directions on speed, which lead to significantly more variation in when the tackle starts, variety of the actual point of impact, the leverage of the defender, and his position to the target. At the point of impact, the first part of the equation is the new physics-based muscle strength toolset. This allows developers to tune the body of strength of the individual players to match their unique on-field characteristics. For example, a ball carrier such as Alabama zone, Baltimore Ravens zone, Derrick Henry will be toned slower than a lighter ball carrier such as Jamar Gibbs. The muscle strength tuning is combined with the force, velocity, and momentum of player ratings, leverage of both players to determine the strength of the tackle and impact and the direction of force of the tackler's interaction. The third component of this tackle resolution, another showcasing of the dynamic nature of the physics-based tackles. Instead of playing out a predetermined tackle collision based on the initial tackle that match, our Boom Tech allows systems to select pieces of a wide variety of tackle animations and branched it to as necessary to fulfill the request of the oncoming physics. This leads to more engagement type hits, stumble variety, and unpredictable outcomes, delivering a more visceral impact control for both players throughout the entire interaction. Lastly, ball carriers Tackling abilities have been modified to work together with the new physics systems. In some cases, abilities have been created. Some abilities modify force impact, some will have an effect on the timing and the sequencing of a hit, and some might be a part of a formula in determining the outcome. Here's an example that they've given us based on how a lot of these abilities work. Tireless runner. Stamina reduction has no impact on the ball carrier's ability to rebalance on broken tackles. Extra pop. Increased to create a fumble with the perfect hit stick timing. Steamroller. As a ball carrier, significantly harder to be bumped off the current path when running at full speed. Form tackle. The idea tackling timing window is easier to hit. On the contrary of the boom tech side, basically balancing the defensive tackling capabilities, we got to talk about the physics-driven ball carrier balance and recovery system that they're adding. An extension of physics-based tackling is the merging of the ball carrier's ability to take a hit, stumble, and then recover his balance, or it's known in the league as contact balance. There's a series of factors that can lead to a lot of these outcomes. First quality of these many outcomes, or lack thereof, is the quality of the hit on contact. A more glancing hit, or one that's not more square on, or one that's early or maybe even late, may fail to bring the ball carrier down. Instead, influence the angle and distance that he will move in recovery. Torque, the amount of rotation the ball carrier, can also influence the ball carrier's spin or turn while in recovery, as well as footing positions. The ball carrier's foot position is not a state that where he can realistically recover. Even if he hits in a not good quality, he will not be able to cover effectively. The chances that the ball carrier recovery is determined by the position of his center mass to his feet, and torque along with the player's abilities will determine how quickly a player can recover, or combined with the muscle strength, tuning, or how resilient he is to taking hits. Using previous examples as Derrick Henry going to recover broken tackles much differently than Alvin Kamara. It just so happened that Madden 25 is the 20th anniversary of by far the most popular Madden feature and mechanic ever in the game, and that is the hit stick. And I think it's time for a Madden level upgrade, and they're going to call it Boom. Hit sticks will now be determined by the timing of the hit, the angle of approach of the defender, and the addition to the player's ratings, muscles, and tuning. If a tackle is too early, too late, or bad angle taking, the hit power and the point of impact will be reduced. Tackle and hit power ratings will influence timing windows so that the chances of having a successful hit stick will increase when attempting a high hit power players. This new mechanic also comes with its own on-field feedback system, with the preliminary goal of rewarding a perfect hit stick with the visceral moment. A tackle indicator on the defender will provide feedback of the power, the squareness, and timing of the hit stick. You also will feel the controller rumble based on the quality of the hit, hear a new sound effects, capture specifically these moments. You will even hear the crowd react to big hits or broken tackles. A perfect hit stick won't just look awesome, it will sound awesome, and it will grant higher chances of causing a fumble. Physics-based tackling powered by Boom Tech is innovations in gameplay to change the way the game is played and feels on the sticks, ultimately giving players more control, more immersion, more engagement than ever before. It's also a glimpse into where gameplay is going into the future. Tackling was first and foremost the obvious area to start to inject physics into gameplay, but as technology is going to be the foundation of our future versions of the game, expanding physics throughout the gameplay is always a must. So Madden 25 is trying to do an overhaul of authenticity and kind of really make you immerse in the NFL experience. So they're going to overhaul the skill set of ball carrier mechanics that offer more explosive special moves and player differentiation depending on who you got. You'll notice also more pre-play styles and snap pre-play adjustments, and players across the field will illustrate realistic football IQ that has been hidden behind the scenes in Madden for years. We all been asking for it. We know they could have did it, and now they're pressing the button. As they continue to push the boundaries for authenticity, the real lines will blur between Madden and the game. So I've been saying on record for a couple of years, Madden is finally figuring out how to use the frostbite animation technology, and they've added athleticism and awareness to ball carriers. You'll also notice improvements in both user and AI controlled ball carriers when running through traffic, especially when or at the line of scrimmage. You'll also see ball carriers notice oncoming defenders and brace for impact. You'll notice players getting skinny when navigating tight lanes. You'll also see nuanced movement with what they are calling avoid turns. These are unique athletic direction changes from oncoming threats. This system is used to formulate and calculate the distance and angle to the threat. Once a player requests a directional turn based on the distance and angle, the threshold and the new animation will trigger. So Madden is kind of giving us what we've been wanting for years. To further enhance all these new animations that they've given us, that they keep telling us that they're overhaul, they're actually adding a new mechanic called setup state. Pressing right trigger, flicking down on the right stick, enter setup state. This move has a chance and to send an oncoming downfield defender into breaking down, meaning the ball carrier's next move has a chance of faking out the defender, powering up through a truck stick, or blowing straight passing. Chaining up moves together to combination of a couple different things can lead to a lot of different plays. This also would discourage your opponents from flicking off their defender in the hopes that the AI has a better chance to tackle you. There it is, folks. All you guys who like to click off of the defenders and like the AI make the tackle, all you guys who like to live on the cheese plays and the cheese blitz, I think Madden has heard the gripes of most players, especially the comp players, the pro players, and the content creators. I think the days of letting the controller sit on your desk and let the animations do what they do are dead. With over 200 new pre-play behaviors and skill sets to increase the anticipation and action you see at the line of scrimmage, Madden 25 is really dialing up this authenticity factor. You'll also see 16 unique signature quarterback sets that include an approach to the line of scrimmage stance and a variety of mannerism. You'll recognize Jalen Hurts' low stance, Dak Prescott's road game leg kick and cadence, and you'll also see a lot more wide receiver approaches and stand-ups, CD Lamb and Tyreek Hill. So let's talk about smart pre-play adjustments. For years, Madden has maintained and added special checks and adjustments in its pre-play logic to maintain and simulate the types of changes real-life players make at the line of scrimmage every play. Many of those adjustments mostly have been hidden from gamers unless you knew a developer to ask. This changes in Madden 25 with smart adjustment behaviors. When you see an offensive lineman and a hand signal settling into a stance, or a linebacker signaling to a defensive back, or the defensive alignment change to match the motion, these will no longer be random fidgets. These are now real-life football adjustments and will show contextually appropriate animations out nearly every position on the field. As the easiest examples, when the offensive line is dramatically changing and is projecting to 5-0 versus 5 rushers on the line, you'll see the center put 5 fingers in the air to alert the rest of the line to change his blocking. This will only be the time the center uses this gesture. The other dynamic line check has always been our blocking logic, but gamers have never known that. Here's a list, and here's a few things that Madden has definitely told us will be featured in this game. Tackle alert guard to edge present threat. Center alert guard to join half slide. Center read Mike versus sub blitz. Center alert line all out blitz look. Halfback base protection. Tackle alert full slide. Tight end max protects alert. Halfback empty protection adjustment. Defense alert to the same play run 5 times in a row. Man coverage in a DB mismatch. Defensive signals for bunch trips, jumbo, unbalanced lines, etc. Low energy and exhausted defensives get into a stance. Foundational football is the forefront of Madden, and because authenticity and fundamental sound replication of the sport is extremely important to the fans and the players, players want maximum control on the sticks to be rewarded for their football knowledge by winning the chess match of pro football. With the work they've done this year and the new animations and our next topic, the actual catch innovations they've added, I think this has the chance to be the biggest, the best, and the most polished Madden in the quality of life aspects they've ever given us. Let's talk about catching innovation. This year, us, the players, will have more control over certain catches than we ever had before, and they are very adamant about that with these new animations and the retooled gaming controls and ball skills controls. So in Madden 25, if you want to catch the ball, you hit the catch button, requesting a catch, and the system will ensure the context of the catch will be reflected accurately. For example, if you hit triangle or Y for an aggressive catch, but the pass is low, they have added a low-high jumping catch to assure that you get the button response desired. They've also added 700 new catching animations to add more context, athleticism, control, including easier access to back shoulder passes and back python fade passes. When I say they've added animations and they've added control, they've also added a new catch mechanic this year, the spectacular catch mechanic. The fourth option, LB, L1, whichever system you're on, will allow you to attempt to catch a one-handed pass. While you are trying, you will get the bonus of extension radius, also risking a higher drop chance, especially when you're doing a spectacular catch with a lower rated player. So make sure you pick and choose how you want to do that. To even add more control, they've enhanced the ability to branch from one catch to another with an additional button. They are adding all the stops, and they are really being put on onus with college football being in here and adding all those new animations over in that game. So for the first time ever in the pre-play format, people will be able to see the pass blockers, who are they targeting, and they will have new tools to modify the targeting, capitalizing on picking up on their opponent's blitz tendencies. When you enter pass protection menu in the pre-play, you will see 4 additional blocking options alongside the 4 that have already been there. The new protection options have half slide, left side, blaze, and empty. When scrolling through these protections, they will show you and modify the blocking scheme. So we're not even going to get into the bells and whistles of these actual schemes, but when I tell you there is some risk and reward, when I tell you these indicators, they're going to tell you which players are not blocked if they blitz. They're meant to show the quarterback who he's supposed to throw hot on, and when making pass protection adjustments, and the targeting will become stickier. An open meta to make an interesting decision on both sides of the ball when determining the threats of blocking and choosing when to blitz appropriately. Blocking is definitely getting a retoolization as well. They've also adjusted how the passing pocket is formed. They've also made improvement to the pass tackler's pocket AI presence, where instead of attempting to get the most ideal point of intersection of the target, they will now stay in their pass sets longer and they'll get to their latest intersection point. In addition to the new blocking logic, the blocking scheme and strategies and mechanics, they have visually updated with the trenches over 500 new animations as well across all blocking types: pass blocking, wins, losses, impact blockings, getting engaged, reach blocks, and more. All new existing blocks and animations have been tuned to give players more control over shades and disengage, so that when players hit the hit stick and they go off the block, they'll feel like their input was received. A lot of people don't know that the Frostbite engine was really meant for FPS games. So when Madden decided that they wanted to use a different engine in next gen, they really didn't begin to tap into the capabilities of what the Frostbite could do until 2021, especially implementing them in 2022. We're talking about, phase 2 of COVID. But this investment is definitely, I've told people this, they started to figure out what they can do with this Frostbite engine inside Madden. So in terms of making plays, in terms of accurate playbooks, in terms of using the trends of each 32 teams, this game is going to feature some different playbooks, some accurate playbooks in every aspect of the game. Ultimate Team, regs, play a friend, they're all going to have these levels of realistic authenticity and signature authenticity. That's what they're coining it inside this game. A couple new features that they're adding to the game that I told people, the quality of life is definitely going to change how we see a lot of these football games. So we got 15 new media games. We got the return of the gauntlet, defensive switch stick, coverage shells, custom route stems, new kicking meter options, updated crowd and sideline reactions, new read option hold keep mechanic. Hey, remember what I told people? Competition makes it better. Now we're going to be back with some more Madden coverage and deep dive. Also, we got more coverage of college football, and we're live daily on Twitch if you want to tap in. So appreciate you guys for rocking with this video. Till next time, King of the Podcast, Casual Gamer, and I will be back to breaking down all things, all football games. I'm out.